Okay. Tell me your name and age and introduce yourself to the camera.
My name is Debbie and I'm 40 years old. I'm a single mother. I was married for 6.5 years. I have one daughter. I work full-time and I started working when she was about 9 months old.
Okay, and what do you do for a living?
I'm with the City of Los Angeles and I'm a senior clerk typist.
And how old is your child now, and what is her name?
My daughter's name is Bianca Alvarez and she's 21 years old.
And did you plan on getting pregnant?
No.
Was this good news or bad news?
It was both good and bad. It's always good news when you find out you're going to have a child of your own. It was I want to say it's bad news. It was stressful news because I was so young.
And on a scale from 1 to 10, how stressful was that news?
Probably about a 7 or an 8.
What resources did you have at the time?
Besides my ex-husband, I had my parents. They were there supporting me, and his parents lived across the street, so they were supporting us as well.
And are you spiritual?
No.
I want you to describe to me your outlook on the situation.
Well, since I'm not spiritual, I had to rely on my own self, my inner strength, the support of family, and just trying to be a good mom and trying to raise a happy and a happy child.
Okay, I want you to tell me about your transition from being just a full-time mom to full-time mom and having a job.
I don't think it was stressful as people might think. For me, it wasn't as stressful. Like I said, I still did have this circle of support. Her grandmother took care of her, so she was in good hands, so I didn't have to worry as much as if she were to have gone to a daycare. But it still is some kind of transition because you're there for your child 24 hours a day, and now you've lost 9 hours out of that day, and it was kind of sad, a little bit, but you get used to it.
Okay. Were you able to be involved in your child's life, like school and extracurricular activities, things like that?
Yes, I was.
And was it hard or easy?
At times, I guess it would be stressful because I would, like, if she had a game, a volleyball game, and I would want to get there on time, but I would work until 5 o'clock. As she got older and got involved in more activities, I would have to take time off of work so that I can be involved in her activities, but I was always involved in them.
And tell me some of the things that you did for yourself, because being a full-time mom and having a full-time job is a lot of strain on you time, so what did you do for yourself?
When she was young, her father and I had the arrangement where I had her 1 week and he had her the other week, so I did have that 1 week to distress and just do things for myself. As she got older, I really didn't have that much time, so my time would be just sitting back watching TV and stuff like that. I did go out with friends, and in the beginning I did go to school, and that was actually a relaxer for me.
Okay. Tell me your outlook now that your daughter is an adult.
You always look back and think that you could have done this, or maybe you shouldn't have done that. I don't think I would do much different. I guess if I had the choice back then, I probably would have rather chosen to be a stay-at-home mom until she got a little bit older and started going to school. But I enjoy working, so I don't think I would do much different.
Okay. Is there any stressors to this day?
Just the same stressors I think all parents have. She's in college, you worry. It's always the #1 stressor is finances. Of course, you worry that, you know, you were a good enough mom and you taught them all the things that you knew, and you hope that they don't make the same mistakes that you do. But it is a little bit easier than when they were with you all the time.
So I want you to give me an example of when it was really, really difficult for you to balance work and, you know, being with your child all the time.
There's quite a few incidences that I think would make the situation more stressful. I would drive one way to take her to school and then have to drive all the way back and go to work. That was pretty stressful, trying to get her to school on time and trying to get myself to work on time. A couple of stressful times where I would get to work and I would get a phone call that she forgot her homework, so I would have to go back home, go back to her school, go all the way back to work. Or I don't think people, I guess other people would realize how stressful it is to go back and forth from school, and sometimes you think that they don't realize how stressful that is. And so one time she went out to a party that she wasn't supposed to go to, and so that Monday morning I put change on the sofa and said, "You're taking yourself to school on the bus." I think she knew then that it was pretty stressful. But that's about it.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you for giving us some of your time. Lastly, I would just like for you to maybe give some advice or insight to other single mothers out there that, you know, maybe are struggling since you have a successful life with your daughter and your job.
Always keep a support unit around you. Never be afraid to ask for help. Or even if you can't ask for it, never be afraid to accept help that people are giving you. And just know that you're doing the best that you can.